welcome Knightline Live with your hosts Jerry Middleton and Rick Fletcher. Knightline Live is filmed in front of a studio audience.
It's Monday night. It's 7 o'clock, and you know what that means. It's Knightline. I'm Rick Fletcher. I'm here with my guest host, Mark Kirchhoff.
Nice to be here.
Mark, welcome. And this gentleman right here, Brent Ross, he needs no introduction. Brent, how you doing?
Good.
All right. You obviously, we know basketball's starting. That's why Brent's here. He's going to tell us all about boys basketball tonight, Mark, so we're looking forward to that. But first, as is our tradition here on Knightline, we got to go over the NFL. I don't know if you guys happened to catch that Colts game yesterday, but a lot went down with the Colts today. They got a new coach, so that tells you about how their season is going. So they got beat. I don't think the Browns lost, but I think they're on a bye week. Okay, so good for them. Bengals won. They look like a solid team. They really are. And then the Bears got beat, but they look like they're an exciting team, but not quite ready for prime time, is my estimation. So that's our NFL scores from the non-experts. That's us. So, Brent, welcome.
Thank you.
We're glad to have you. So you started today in boys basketball. You guys are getting going. So tell us what's going on today and what in the next few days on your program.
Well, I mean, it's such a short turnaround. We got a scrimmage in 2 weeks. So, and then we play in 2 weeks from Wednesday, open up a season. So, just treated it like a Monday, normal week, and as we do. So we went pretty hard today, and there's going to be some sore kids tomorrow.
Yeah. And how many players you got so far? I mean, obviously you're going to be shifting things around and moving around.
Well, we're going to have a freshman team this year. So
okay.
We've got about, I think, 29 or 30 trying out.
Okay.
So we'll keep right around 26.
Well, that's a big number.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, it's for 3 teams. If we're going to keep a young man, we're going to put him in a position where he can play and get better. So we won't just keep him to keep him. So we have 3 teams to do that with. We've got almost, I think, 10 games on the freshman schedule. So pretty excited about that. I know Coach Maurer, Coach Everman, Coach Maurer's never really coached his own team.
Right.
Does such a great job as an assistant and help running the program. So he's pretty excited to have the opportunity to make the calls on the sideline and do some things. And
good for him. He's moving up in the world.
Yeah. He's excited about it.
Well, good for him. So that'll keep him off the golf course there, I guess, right? So maybe
keep him from missing that winter tour down in Florida.
Yeah, absolutely.
And 10 games for the freshmen is great because, post-pandemic, you've heard about a lot of people's numbers being down. So a chance for having this freshman team, let alone a freshman team, but a 10-game schedule to help these guys develop.
I believe it'll stay an actual freshman team because the freshmen from last year, they went 15-6 as a JV team, and they all moved up to they're sophomores, and I don't see any of them moving back down. So it'll be a straight freshman team. We'll play some C teams, I'm sure, which is fine. We just want games.
Right. So this year's team, last year you guys had a good season. Didn't end the way we wanted it, but so tell us what your prospects. You got 5 seniors coming back.
Well, our team this year is the only thing I can say about this group is they got the heart of champions. I mean, they've proven that already in the fall. I mean, they lose to cross-country county, to Richmond, and then they lose 2 weeks later at a meet at Connorsville to them, and they were mad. I mean, they had the heart of a champion. Went back, won the sectional, and finished ahead of everybody in the county and the regional as well. And that's all heart. They could have went the other direction after losing that county. And then the football team took an early lump. Oler, I can't be more proud of him. I want to shout out to him. You talk about a season he had, implementing a brand new system, kind of a run and gun.
Right.
And early on, playing a team that went to the semi-state last year, had all their starters, took a bad beating, and those kids, he kept them focused, and man, they played some good football. Some of the best football I've ever seen Northeastern play, and he grew up as a coach this year. I mean, and I told him that, you don't know what kind of pressure you got on you when you got 20 seconds to be making calls, in close games down the stretch. And,
Yeah.
you know, I mean, I've been there on the sideline late in games and regionals and things, and it's an experience. And he went through it, and I think that program's going to be better for it. So those kids were seniors. Quarterback Harmon, you know, is coming back, and I mean, they're Heart of Champions. You know, they went ahead and come back and end up getting a piece of the conference as well. And I mean, those are our expectations every year, you know, for us to have won the conference 8 out of the last 10 years. And we're only one of, I think, 9 schools in the state that's went 9 straight years of 15-plus wins. And I don't, you know, I see these kids want more. I mean, I'm so excited for these 5 seniors and this group. This, you know, we got basically, you know, 8 kids coming back with varsity experience.
Okay.
So,
You guys traditionally have been, last year in a lot of games, you went 10 deep on the bench. I mean, what's your expectations this year?
well, it could get to that. I mean, it's, you know, like I said, we got 8 with experience, and we've got, you know, 2 or 3 young kids that are, they want some playing time.
Yeah.
So it's, you know, Sam White's came back after a really bad injury late in the year, and, you know, basically couldn't walk for 5 months. So, I mean, and he's looking pretty good. And then, you know, the little Landis Gretty's had some good moments. And
Right.
then, you know, Day Lundy moved in, and you know, I'm, you know, like I said, I'm pretty excited about, you know, those guys will lead the JV team, but are going to fight for some minutes.
Well, that's what you want. You want them to have that fighting spirit, you know, to push the guys up above them to say, hey, watch out, here I come, because that gives that competition.
I was getting on a few seniors today, pushing them a little bit. You know, I mean, you know, we have to push each other in practice.
Let me ask you a question. Does it translate if they have success in one sport, like you mentioned Carson Terrell? Does that translate to, like, now he's in his next season, he's into basketball, or what's the positives you bring out of that?
Oh, I think with Carson, his leadership so far since he's came to basketball is, I mean, we were talking about it tonight after practice, is way above our expectations on where we thought it would be. I mean, he's a special young man, you know, with wherever he ends up going to school. And, you know, if I'm a coach, I would definitely love to have him as part of my program. He eats right, he works out, he sleeps, he does all the things that you're supposed to do as an athlete. And I'm proud that he had a great senior year, you know, in football. And then, you know, Grant Luby's another one that, you know, I kind of gave him a hard time. He'd finished 6th a couple of times. They only take 5 spots. So I told him, you know, if you're not going to be in the top 5, you might as well just start coming to basketball in the fall. And the next thing I know, he's finishing with PRs and everything in the sectionals and helping the team and finishing in the top 5 of the team. So it's, you know, like I said, those guys are, they're great to be around. They're easy to talk to. You know, we expect big things out of Keaton Mikesell. You know, he's had a heck of an off season, you know, as a point guard. And, you know, then you had Caleb Harmon, who helped the football team do what he did. And then, you know, Carson Scaretti, you know, got to the sectional championship in tennis and doubles and has put in a lot of work. And then, of course, you still got Wes Hunt and Michael Henry, you know, that's done a great job. And then Nolan Drake just keeps learning every day.
Yeah,
You know,
Nolan, I thought last year, I'll put a plug, I thought he improved probably the most as far as I can see from beginning to end of season, playing JV mostly. Right. Boy, he improved a lot. Plus, he's growing, too. He's not, that doesn't hurt. So
yeah, we've got some size and some length. I mean, we're not as big as we were last year, of course, but, you know, we'll do some different things with what we have, you know, that we've maybe done in the past, you know, change up defenses a lot more. And, you know, our man-to-man's pretty good, but you know, we'll mix it up. We'll never do the expected.
That's one thing I noticed when you're talking about we're not as big, but when I went in last week when you're doing some of your preseason workouts, we're way longer arm span wise than what you'd think just walking out on the court. So yeah, when those guys get their arms out, they eat up a lot of territory.
Well, you got a lot of 6'1" to 6'4" guys as opposed to a 6. You know, Braden graduated 6'8".
Yeah, we could easily put, you know, 6'2" to 6'4" across the board on there, all 5 if you run Hunt at the point.
Right.
And that could cause some issues for some teams as well, you know, with how they want to guard us. And this is probably one of the best shooting teams we've had in a while, as far as being able to knock down the outside shot. if we can continue like we did finish the summer up, we went up and won Super Hoops for the first time ever in a 3A bracket, and we shot the ball well. We played hard-nosed defense, and we shot the ball well, and it wasn't just one kid. It was 4 or 5 kids. So we can put 4 or 5 shooters on the floor at one time. Harmon's got a really good touch for a big man. Terrell will start getting his back. He works out so hard and lifts so hard. And but if we're having those, and they're quick off their first step, really. So if we can draw out a bigger man and get by them, will be helpful as well. So, no, we're excited. I know the whole coaching staff is excited for this group, and like I said, I'm excited all the way from what I've seen in the junior high all the way up. They just stay hungry. That's the amazing thing about, and I want to put a plug in for, what, Vanessa and Chris do for the whole elementary program, because they run it how we want to.
Mm-hmm.
We could win probably a lot more games at the younger levels, but, you take 2 kids, run pick and roll over and over and over and get a win. Is it really helping your program? And we play every kid, and, I'm pretty excited, like I said, from what I've seen. The junior high had their tryouts. We had 30-something kids try out.
Wow.
Yeah, we kept 22 total. So we have, we'll have that parent meeting tonight afterwards, and that season will get started at Seton as well.
Seems like you've built it, been here how long now? I didn't even know. Quite a few years. 13 years. I don't know how many victories you got, maybe but over 200, I know that. So you really, I'll put a plug in for you and the program you built. I think success begets success, because what happens is if you build a successful program, you get people want to be involved. And that starts at the younger kids, just like what you're saying. So,
well, Chris Curtis was he was a freshman coach for Coach Bolzer when I took over, and I sat down with him and asked him if he would want to take over that and do it. And he's been with me ever since. I keep telling them they're not allowed to retire. And then Coach Baker's been with me, and Tyler Moore's been with me since day one.
Right.
And then Coach Beatty's been with me over 10 years. I think it's 11 years.
A lot of continuity in that coaching staff.
I think stability has a lot to do with what you're talking about with any program. I think, and I think I want to put a plug in for Tyler as well across country. I think you gotta have that stability and people that want to continue to, make it grow. It's a lot of time. It's a lot of work, but you got to enjoy it.
Yeah. So your schedule, we were talking a little bit off air. You got a pretty monstrous schedule before you get into conference play. Tell us a little bit about that, Brent.
Yeah, I like playing teams that, might be on paper better than us to challenge us. We're going to face a lot. The ultimate goal, of course, is to win a state championship. We break the season down into 4 parts, and we want to win the county tourney, we want to win the conference, and then we want to win sectional, regional, and semi-state. And we've got so close in the regional final a few times. We want to get over that hump. And now that it's a 1-game regional, we wanted to challenge our kids. So we're going to go on the road to Greenfield Central. That was before we knew that we could possibly play our regional at Newcastle or somewhere else.
Okay.
So, but that's where the regional had always been, and we still could possibly play there if the draw comes out that way, if we can get through our sectionals. So, we picked them up on the road. They're very good. Got a D1 prospect, sophomore, going to be good. Anderson's got 2 D1 players. They're coming in here on December 22nd, which we call our alumni week, right before Christmas, and we're going to retire Tyler Smith's number that night. And we'll talk a little more about him at another time. But, and then alumni games will be on the 23rd, the very next night. So that Thursday, Friday will be a fun week. And Eastern Hancock, who knocked us out of the sectional last year,
right.
Has had 2 great years and runs. We got them coming into our place, I think the second week of December. And then we open up at Earlham with Seton, who's got, 2 or 3 highly ranked kids, from what I'm reading. So, we're going to have to be ready for that game,
It's become our traditional opening night game.
It has. It's a rivalry. Coach Jurgens does a great job. They got a great program, and it's always a great atmosphere to open up with.
Yeah, and playing at Earlham's, it's a nice place to play. So we will be live streaming that game, by the way. That's a new one that we've added to our schedule. So that's opening night. So we'll be there. Night's broadcasting. We'll look forward to that. You know, Mark, you got something else? As a former coach to a coach, right there. You can put him on the spot.
Well, you talked about Keaton Mikesell having a good off season. I'm just kind of wondering if there's some other players, maybe even JV guys that you're looking at that have had some really good off seasons that you're maybe looking forward to take a step up this year.
Well, I think, if you look at the very youngest class, the freshman class, I think Logan Seals put in a lot of time. He just needs some more experience, and going to get some of that physicality thrown at him. We'll see how he handles it, but he's had a great off season, and and loves the game. And then Carson Scaretti has had a great off season. I don't know if there's a time that I've walked in the gym that he ain't walking out or in there sweating. So he's put in some time as well. And the one that really kind of surprises me, and he redid his hair, and I walked in about a week ago and I didn't even recognize him. I'm like, who's that kid? Of course, I have to have my glasses to be able to see, but was Trey Van Landingham. I mean, he slimmed down, and he made his hair kind of look like Colton. I thought it was Colton there for a while. So, and John Wallace has had a good off season. I think he's come along real well. Honestly, those kids, they all work. I mean, there's not a kid, even though I haven't mentioned Eli Todd's another one that, sat out his freshman year that, this is going to be really his first year competition back in the high school level as a sophomore. He's had some athleticism. So, I think, 1 through whatever we end up keeping, 26, 27, are, like I said, kids that want to work. And, some of them are kids that haven't been in the program before. We have a couple move-ins that, came from other schools. And I think it's an eye-opener for them on how hard we go, and the things that we work on. And so, I mean, like I said, I'm excited for the season, and I think it's going to be a fun year. That's what people keep asking me, and I just said the senior class all are leaders. I mean, you probably see it in the classrooms and in the hallways, and I mean, those 5, I think anybody would be happy to have them in their program.
Yeah.
All right.
And that's something I want to give Coach Ross credit real quick. I know we're keeping a little extra, but to keep the kids hungry in the program, even though with some sustained success, because some programs you see and they just expect the rewards without the work. But you're right. I mean, you see our kids in the gym all the time, in the weight room, playing out of season, just trying to get better.
Yeah, they all fighting for playing time and spots. You got 26 kids, and I told them, it's not going to be gave to you.
Right.
That's what I was talking about. I mean, first night I had, I moved some seniors around, and it wasn't gave to them, and I don't think they liked it very well.
Well, it's good to push them, I'll tell you.
That's right.
What.
They got to keep it, and they will.
Well, Brent, we want to thank you for joining us. We'll have plenty of time to chat during the season. We'll talk to you a lot. We'll talk to your players, and we're going to do a senior night right here, so hopefully we can get that done here soon. Segue, keeping them hungry here. As a guest here, Brent, you get a free Subway sandwich at any location in Richmond and Hagerstown for being our guest. We want to thank Subway Sandwich Shop, so there you go.
Appreciate it from Subway.
And they're one of our gold level sponsors. So we'd like to thank Brent for joining us here this evening. He's got to go. He's got a meeting he's got to get to. So that's November 23rd. At Earlham, Seton, looking forward to that. Then right after that, Monroe Central comes to town, so back-to-back almost, so it's good 1-2 punch right there in the beginning of the season.
Yeah, and they're a good program as well.
Yep, so we'll look forward to that. All right, we're going to take a break here, and we're going to hear from our gold level sponsors. When we come back, I'll be with Mark. We're going to talk cheerleading, Mark. Cheerleading. They had some big things going on, so we're going to talk a lot about cheerleading. We'll be back. You're watching Knightline.
At Kate's Family Eye Care, we value a family-friendly atmosphere, offering high-quality eye exams. Our expert staff utilizes the latest techniques in eye care. We have a large selection of affordable glasses that are unique to our area. We are proud supporters of the Northeastern Knights and wish all the teams the best of luck.
Go Knights!
Coming together every day to make a difference for you, for me, and everyone in between. Because at Dot Foods, when we celebrate each other's differences, and work together to make the community a better place, we become great together. At Dot Foods, what matters to you matters to us, where communities matter. Dot Foods.
13,000 feet has a way of testing a man's soul. After all, you were never meant to take on such an endeavor. That long drop is what separates human from superhuman. That fear is the only enemy, the only thing keeping you from feeling that power in your bones. And here we are, right here, right now. Let's fly.
You're good at motivation, we're good at your insurance. Start with Indiana Farm Bureau Insurance and stop knocking on wood.
Dreaming of having more space? With a mortgage from First Financial, you're golden. We keep things simple with friendly, personalized service from application to closing. We'll help you find the right mortgage loan to fit your unique needs. Plus, you can qualify for relationship pricing with an eligible checking account. And since we live in the communities we serve, you can count on our local knowledge to make sure the pieces fall into place for an on-time closing. So stop dreaming and start moving with First Financial Bank.
Do you need assistance and you don't know where to turn? We can help. From fixing meals, medicine reminders, personal hygiene, rides to appointments, someone to talk to, and much more. Guardian at Home Servicing, all of Wayne County. All you really want is for your loved ones to enjoy life.
Well, welcome back to Knightline. I'm Rick Fletcher with my guest host, Mark Kirchhoff.
Thanks again for having me here.
Yeah, it was great talking to Brent. This is just a start, though. I'm sure we'll chat with him as time goes on. As basketball for the guys started tonight as they had tryouts, and their first game is November 23rd and at Earlham against Seton. That's a traditional night before Thanksgiving game, or it has been for the last few years. So we'll look forward to that. We will be live streaming that, but as we always say, Mark, go to the gym. You can watch the replay later. Okay?
Absolutely.
That's the best way to do. If you're going to be a fan and get there. So we'll look forward to that.
Hoosier hysteria never happened on a couch.
And never did. All right, speaking of hysteria, cheerleading. We got a lot of cheerleading stuff going on.
Absolutely.
For those of you who don't know, we've been trying to talk about cheerleading over the last few shows. These young ladies have been participating or competing in a I'm not going to call it a league, but an organization, and they've actually been competing, and they've been doing great. I mean, they qualified for state championship, and let me be certain about that they just didn't go to the state championship. You actually have to qualify to go there. You earned your spot to be there. So congratulations to them. This is the first time they've ever done that. And, they qualified for state championship, and that was this past Saturday at Newcastle Fieldhouse, the famous Fieldhouse. Okay, we've all been there.
Absolutely.
And so they were down there. Before we start talking about the results and stuff, there's a couple things. We want to run a couple things here. I want to thank Eli Hemmelgarn. Now, he was my helper on Saturday. He was there supporting the girls, and he's actually a cheerleader for the cheerleading squad. So I put him to work, and he was more than willing to help. So we're going to do a couple of things. First, we're going to meet all the cheerleaders, and then before the performance on Saturday, we actually had a chance to chat with one of the assistant coaches. That's Libby Blankley. And so you're going to see those things right now. So let's go to that, and we'll be back here in a minute.
This is Eli Himmelgarn here with the Northeastern Cheerleaders of 2022.
Hi, I'm Elena Moore and I'm a junior.
Hi, I'm Riley Gentry and I'm a freshman.
Hi, I'm Delaney Goodwin and I'm a junior.
Hi, I'm Mackenzie Gibbons and I'm a freshman.
I'm Leah Nicholson and I'm a junior.
I'm Olivia Blyle and I'm a junior.
I'm Peyton Gross and I'm a sophomore. I'm Chloe Abney-Bratz, and I'm a freshman.
I'm Jocelyn Brown, and I'm a sophomore.
I'm Miley Kelsey, and I'm a freshman.
I'm Gracie York, and I'm a freshman.
I'm Addie Pennington, and I'm a junior.
I'm Bailey Scott, and I'm a senior.
I'm Eden Quinn, and I'm a sophomore.
And that's it for your Northeastern cheerleading team. We'll get back more from the state finals.
Good afternoon. We are at Newcastle Fieldhouse, the famous Fieldhouse here, and today I'm traveling with the cheerleaders, and they have a state competition today. I'm talking to Libby Blankley, the assistant coach. Libby, how are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Good. So give us a sense of how the girls are feeling, if there's nerves, how the coaches are feeling. Give us a sense of what's going on.
We're feeling really confident going into today. Yesterday we had a showcase where we ran 2 full outs, and both of our full outs hit back to back. So we're feeling like today's going to hit. We're just feeling really lucky to be here because this is our first year competing, and making it all the way to the state is a really, really big deal.
All right, we're going to look forward to it. There's a lot of excitement in the air. You know, you get all the teams here and the fans and the coaches and the parents, so it's really a lot of fun, so we'll be looking forward to it. All right, that's it for right now. We shall return later with more from Newcastle. Well, welcome back to Knightline. Mark, let me set the scene because, like I said, I was embedded with the cheerleaders on Saturday. They let me hang around, okay, and I was able to really get a feel for what's going on. These girls are competitive. All right? They have a lot of fire when they get out there. You just don't see it. I mean, unless you're right there, you can't see it. So
a lot of competitiveness hidden behind those smiles.
Oh, absolutely. So they were competitive, and they're athletic too. I mean, you get out there, and if you watch a performance, and we're going to have some of that here in a minute, okay? And we've actually run their whole show on a previous Knightline. But they have a lot of fire when they get out there. They are fired up, and they are getting out there. And when they get out there and they give a performance, when they get off the floor, they've left it all out there. No matter what the results, no matter how they place, no matter what they do, you can tell that all their heart and soul goes into this, Mark. And
that's a powerful 2.5 minutes.
Yeah, if you could take, now we had Brent on earlier, he would love to see all that spirit in some of his ball players. Any coach would. It's just, they really do a good job, and they take a lot of pride in their performance, and they do stunts. I'm not doing backflip. I don't know about you, so we're not going to be doing that. So they performed. They came in. There were 8 teams. They finished 6. Okay, so I would probably honestly say they were hoping for a little higher, but I'm going to give them credit. This is the first time they've ever done this. They really want to, probably continue on doing this. I think that's their game plan. But I thought they were great. Okay?
For a first year, and then sticking their nose in there, and I don't know if it was an official statistic, but I think I saw somewhere on social media that they were half a point away from placing second or something like that. So I don't know what the point spread was, but they definitely put their nose in there with the competitive teams and really showed that they belonged.
Yeah, so I want to say to you parents and you fans, there was a nice contingent of Northeastern fans there. Really proud to see that. We're going to see them a little bit later too here.
It was loud.
Yeah, it was loud. It's always loud, and they absolutely put 100% into it. So for the first time this year, we actually had a chance to, after the competition, I got a chance to talk with Chelsea Wine. She's the head coach. So let's go to Chelsea and see what she had to say. We're here at Newcastle Fieldhouse, where the cheerleading state championships have just completed, and the Knights of Northeastern, the Lady Knights of Northeastern, have competed, and I'm here with Coach Chelsea Wine. Chelsea, this first chance we've had a chance to talk to you. How are you, by the way?
I'm good. I'm great. Feeling much better now that it's over.
All right. Well, it is kind of nerve-wracking. So tell us a little bit, how did we get, this is the first time that your squad has competed at this level. What's the path that you got to here?
So last year we went to the TEC competition, and we felt really good about, our girls' dedication and how they wanted to continue to compete. And then we had tryouts, and the talent on this team was just too good to not. to not do this, so we went and we said we were just going to do a few local competitions to begin with, and those local competitions led us here, which is way farther than we ever thought we would get, so we'll take it.
All right, so there's a lot of emotion, heart, and soul that goes into this. You can see when the girls go out there and they perform, they really put their all into it. So not just today's performance, but up to all the performances that you have done. Just give us a synopsis of what your feeling is.
Yeah, I look back at our first competition in September and to today, and it's not the same team at all. It's insane how much they've improved, and their confidence and their connection as a team, they are killing it. So I couldn't be more proud. Whatever place they get today, it does not matter to me. They've made it this far, and I'm just proud of that. So.
All right, do you anticipate maybe for the future that they'll be doing more of this kind of stuff?
Yeah, the girls are on fire. They want to keep going. So I think we'll just keep building the program and getting better and better every year.
All right, well, congratulations. Thanks for having me. This has been a lot of fun. Knights Nation, you should be proud of your cheerleaders. They were fantastic, not just today, but every day, and they represent you well. So that's going to wrap it up here from Newcastle. So back to you guys in the studio. Welcome back to Knightline. We want to thank Coach Chelsea Wine. Debbie Moore is also an assistant coach. So you have Libby, Chelsea, and Debbie. They're the three coaches of that squad. Debbie, we didn't happen to get on video, but she's been on before. So
lots of stuff going on Saturday.
Yeah, a lot.
Probably just didn't get a chance to catch her.
Well, it didn't end. They the ladies went to National Trail on Sunday, and they actually won that division, competition in their division. They brought home, I'm going to read this right here, brought home the Grand Champion Trophy. Now, I don't know what the Grand Champion Trophy is, but it's got to be big.
I think with the word grand, it just has to be big.
Something good there. So congratulations to them. They want to do this. They're going to keep doing this. According to the coaches, when we were chatting, the next year they're going to do the TEC Championship, just like they did last year, and that was at Lincoln. I'm assuming they'll do that again this year at the same school. And they want to continue on, start a tradition of being in these competitions. And it's good for the girls. It's a lot of fun. It's it's really competitive. It's great. So congratulations to them. Congratulations to the young ladies. We'll see them all in basketball cheering for the girls and the boys.
And how cool is it that we get to talk about the cheerleaders having a doubleheader weekend just on their own?
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. It's been a lot of fun. This is something that I'm a big advocate of cheerleading, okay? And, I like to see guys cheerleading. That's why Blaine Bry and Eli Hemmelgarn and a couple other guys are going to be cheering during the winter season. So to me, that's exciting. So good luck to them. All right, we're going to go to take a break here, but before we do, we have a little segment, Mark, that we'd like to do sights and sounds of. And this one, we've got a lot of sights and sounds of Championship Saturday at Newcastle Fieldhouse. So we're going to go to that, then we'll hear from some of our gold level sponsors, and when we come back, Corey Baker's going to join us.
Wrestling time.
Wrestling started up, so we'll chat with him. All right, so this is Knightline, and we'll be back.
Harmon sheds are custom built to your specifications and needs. But wait, there's more! Harmon sheds build privacy fences, decks for your pool, beautifully designed decks for all around your home, and detached pavilions. Let Joe and the crew do all the work, so all you need to do is relax.
This is Rick Fletcher. When my car needs repair, I take it to 715 Sim Hargen Parkway in Richmond, home of Knuckle Busters. With their ASE certified technicians, why would you go anyplace else? They repair domestic and imports, air conditioners to Z-bars. Knuckle Busters Auto Repair. Call 765-488-1470 and tell them to go Knights!
With local BTV, it's easier than ever to view all that WCTV offers.
I can now stream local government meetings direct to my TV.
Now I can watch local programming right from my phone.
I can easily view recorded and live events on my computer.
With a few clicks on any device, you're ready to view WGTV Channel 11, WETV Channel 20, and WCTV Channel 21. With local BTV, you're able to stay entertained and informed.
Hey there, my name is Gibson and I would love to invite you to LifeSpring Students. That's our youth group at LifeSpring Church, which is just south of Northeastern on 27, and we meet from 7 to 8:30 on most Thursdays, but the doors open at 6:30. It's a great way to get to know more about God, meet some friends, as well as get to know about yourself some more as well. Plus, it's a lot of fun. We usually have some basketball and dodgeball, along with some other activities, and if you want to know more, check out lifespring.tv/students.
You've had a hard day at work and all you want to do is sit in your lounge chair in the nice cool air? Then it hits! The AC's not working. The living room feels like the Sahara Desert. Call Reynolds Plumbing, Heating, and Cooling. In just a short time, it'll be nice and cool. And then all you'll need is a sign that says, "No penguins allowed." Call 765-966-0994. Reynolds Plumbing, Heating, and Cooling. Proud sponsors of the Knights.
Welcome back to Knightline. I'm Rick Fletcher. I'm here with my guest host, Mark Kirchhoff. Mark, you're hanging in there. It's not too late for you,
no,
right?
we're not past my bedtime yet, so we're doing good.
We're getting there, though, right?
Yeah, it's getting close.
All right, we are honored to have Corey Baker, wrestling coach here. Corey, how are you?
I'm doing good. How are you guys?
I want to say last year was when my my partner Jerry Mills and I, we really started.
Nothing normal there.
Well, anyways, we started learning about wrestling, and we learned a lot, and we really, it was enjoyable. Yeah. And since then, we've learned a lot about girls golf and cross country and all these other sports that. I was at a cheering competition this weekend. It's all great.
Yeah,
all of it's
a lot
great.
of good stuff going on.
And so let's talk about wrestling. You guys have started.
Yep, we got started just about a week ago. So.
Yeah, all right. So tell us what's happening. Just give us a nutshell of what you're doing now and what you got coming up here in the future.
Just getting wound up right now. We've probably got 20 people out, and 7 have probably never wrestled before, which is great.
Okay.
I'll take as many as we can. But so this first week, is just getting dialed back up, letting the experienced wrestlers help the inexperienced ones, and vice versa. So we'll take the next month to get ready. Our first meet's December 7th, so we got plenty of time. We kind of adjusted the schedule that way. Used to start earlier. So then December 7th, we'll start Franklin County, and then we just go every weekend and a couple weeknights for 2.5 months after that.
Yeah, so I noticed it is a lot of Saturdays, right? Your
Mostly
meets,
Saturdays.
a lot of Saturdays. So we don't know what your schedule is yet. We haven't seen it, but we are going to be live. It is our plan to live stream your home meets. Okay, however many you got, and as long as there's not a conflict, we definitely want to live. We did that last year. I thought it was positive. I think it got a positive response, And Dwayne White, if you're listening, you're already hired, okay, as our analyst, so you can't go to work that day, all right?
Sounds like leverage, Dwayne.
But Dwayne was great. I mean, it was...
I went back and watched that several times. That was the Union City match we live streamed last year was phenomenal.
Yeah.
Not only the wrestling, but Dwayne's commentary. And were you in on that?
I was running the camera.
Okay.
Jerry was the host.
I thought it sounded good.
Yeah. Hey, watch out. All right. So, anyway, so tell us a little bit some of the wrestlers that you have. We all met Heather Kroll last year, followed her all the way.
I did bring my enforcer with me this year. It's a school night, so let Heather go home. But like I said, we're looking at about 20 wrestlers this year. Full team's 14.
Okay.
So as long as things shake out the way that Coach Kroll and I have imagined them and put them down on paper, should definitely have a full squad. And from what I see, probably a full squad of experienced wrestlers.
When you say full squad, you're talking about meeting all the weight classes.
Absolutely.
Which is difficult to do a lot of times.
When I started 8 years ago as a varsity coach, we had 5 wrestlers.
Wow.
5 great wrestlers, but 5 wrestlers.
Okay.
And there's been ebbs and flows in that time, but it's been a slow process, and of course our administration's been understanding of that, but we're at a point now where we're starting to reap the benefits of the elementary program and junior high programs we've had for several years. So
yeah, now you guys do a great job of whoever runs your Facebook page, keeping everybody up to date on what's going on. So congratulations to that. You do have an elementary program. The gentleman that runs that is
Justin Stevens is running that now.
Yes. Okay, I had an opportunity to talk with him at Levi Coffin Days.
Yeah.
And takes a lot of time. I mean, you guys don't get paid big money. You're not on 10-year guaranteed contracts.
It's a labor of love.
It
definitely
labor of love.
We've been very blessed. Dwayne really was probably the one that Dwayne White spearheaded that back in the day, and Justin's kind of came in and seamlessly doing a lot of the same things, good things, and those are, as a varsity coach, that's the lifeline of what you're doing. We get them towards the tail end of their careers, really, when you think about it. What they're doing is what sets the tone for what we're doing.
Well, it's like that in any sports program. You start them in the younger kids, really like, I guess, 2nd, 3rd, 4th grade right in there. You get them started, you get them proper technique, because wrestling's just not about brute strength, okay? Tell us, as a wrestler, technique, talk about technique and speed and, along with strength, but, the things all the elements that go into making a good wrestler.
Yeah, there's much more to be said for discipline, technique, and mindset in wrestling than strength. I've seen plenty of brute strength kind of people who could become good wrestlers, but there is, down to the finest details of your body control and the things you have to know that make you great. That's what, when you see wrestlers like Heather Kroll, Ethan Neely, who's a senior for us, are wrestlers that just are very athletic, have great body control, and are smart wrestlers out on the mat. That will be strength 9 out of 10 times.
Yeah. So how many seniors you got this year?
We're looking at 4 seniors.
All right, so that's not a big senior class, really.
Not a big senior class, but that's considering that of those seniors, I'm not sure that any of them have been 4-year wrestlers. They're people we picked up along the way.
Okay.
So I'm probably kind of proud of that. I like when we get people in their sophomore, junior year that have never wrestled before. In the past we've had Shane Berries and people like that were great athletes and came along. I love having seniors that weren't the people we started with when they were 3rd, 4th grade, but came to love the sport and be a part of our wrestling family too.
Yeah. So last year we had a great story here with Heather Kroll. Okay, me personally, I jumped on that from the very beginning as far as following her through. It was exciting, see her to go to state finals. I mean, I don't know how often that happens here at this school here, but I'm not thinking it's a whole.
Heather was the 5th wrestler in the school history to go to state.
Okay.
We had a couple that repeated in there, but 5th actual wrestler to go to state for us, so not very common.
And in your opinion, does she an opportunity to repeat, to move on? And
if Heather keeps her nose to the grindstone and works the way that we know Heather will, then absolutely. There's nothing that's out of her reach.
Yeah, and now let me ask you, is there girls wrestling also, or?
Girls wrestling was identified as a, I will get the wording wrong on this, but sport of interest or whatever. The IHSA is going to start ramping up towards girls wrestling becoming a sanctioned sport.
All right.
So
like
that's
club,
still several years.
Club sport.
Yeah, there's several teams. Centerville, I think, is going to become close to fielding a girls team this year. Things like that, where you can start it up, but there's not as much available. We'd have to travel 3-4 hours every Saturday if we wanted to do a girls only tournament. And we're not. I want to say we're not necessarily interested in that. We get to wrestle the girls, and Heather competes against the girls year round. The exposure and the things that will help her as far as advancing her career in college and things like that is definitely in what we call the boys' side, which is really just an open side at this point right now.
And that's what about Heather. Her wrestling season isn't just during the school year. She does it a lot. I don't know when the times are, but out of season.
Almost all year round. I mean, she takes a break. She's also a all-conference cross-country runner.
Yeah, she is.
That's just kind of proves how hard she works. She started running just 3-4 years ago. And really,
that's going to be a good sport for her, though. Cross-country, nice complement to wrestling.
Yeah. It's the endurance and the mentality you have to have for that. Wrestlers and cross-country runners, I like to have that adjacentness.
Yeah. Now, do you like your wrestlers to be in other sports? Or?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I'm a strong proponent of the 3-sport athlete, or whatever you're fancy to. But I was a 3-sport athlete when I was in school. I like to see my wrestlers. I love football players. Offensive linemen make great wrestlers. Yeah. Running backs make great wrestlers. So
I was gonna say, if you're a football player and you're not doing a winter sport, go see Corey Baker and Todd Kroll and those guys, and they'll put you to work, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
You'll stay in shape. My guess is, but there's a lot of transition from football to wrestling, and you'll get some success.
Yeah. Back in 2019, we had 4 seniors that were all football players. We had a good year in football that year, and I think 3 of the 4 of them were all conference football players. And you could just see that transition between the wrestling and mat. They were great athletes, and their footwork and the way they used their bodies was, you could tell in both sports.
All right. Yeah. So what? Go ahead, Mark.
I was going to say one of those athletes, and I want to bring up because he was kind of a surprise, and you just got to see him develop, was Henderson last year. And he
played football this year.
He did.
And just what kind of things do you see out of him? I mean, he made a really good run towards the end of the season last year.
I'd always said when Michael realizes he's as good of a wrestler as he is, he'll really turn that corner, and that's what happened at the end of the year. We'd seen how good Michael could be, and actually already was since he was in 8th grade. Just trying to fine-tune mechanics and things like that, and things that we really worked with him on. But once he got that confidence, he was just hit the ground running. He won conference, he won sectionals, he went to semi-state. He lost to a cathedral wrestler who placed in state, was the only reason his state tournament series ended. And now I think he might have a little too much confidence because he tells us about it all the time. But definitely think that Michael's going to have a phenomenal year as well.
Wrestling has a way of humbling one.
Yes.
I would think, so
the humbleness comes at some point.
Well, Corey, we're kind of running up against the clock here. We are. But we'll have you back. We'll talk to you again at some point.
Absolutely.
In some form or another. Love to have your seniors on at some point. Bring them on. So, for being our guest, we have a Subway Sandwich Shop as one of our sponsors, okay? So, for being our guest, you have a free ticket for a free Subway sandwich at either any of the Richmond locations or Hagerstown. So, I guess congratulations.
Thank you, sir. I know exactly where I'm going for lunch tomorrow.
So we love Subway. They're a great sponsor, and they really help us out a lot. And they are our sponsor of our Player of the Games during our live stream. So Subway's great, along with all of our gold level sponsors. We don't talk enough about our gold level sponsors. We probably ought to do a show just about them.
And bring the gold level sponsors.
Bring them on. Do something. I don't know. Feed them lunch. Maybe we'll do something. But we really appreciate all you guys. We couldn't do a lot of this stuff without you. And so we really appreciate that. So, Corey, thanks for coming on.
Thank you for having me.
So we're going to take a break. We're going to hear from some of our gold level sponsors when we get back. Girls basketball starts tomorrow night right here at home. So we'll be talking Lady Knights basketball. This is Knightline. We'll be back after these messages.
KOA exit 151A. registration, and the general store. It's a family-owned campground with pull-through parking for RVs or travel trailers with full hookups. Rent a cabin, relax at one of the fire pits, or picnic by the pond, a playground for the kids, or get in around the golf before dinner. Take a water-soaking hayride, lay out by the pool, and then take a dip. Did someone say boom, baby? Call Scaretti Pyrotechnics at 765-977-2757. Scaretti Pyrotechnics has performances for birthdays, weddings, school athletic events, other occasions, and of course, the 4th of July. Scaretti Pyrotechnics are proud supporters of Knights Athletics. Boom, baby! Smith, McQuiston, and Webster Funeral Home has proudly served the Fountain City area since 1886. From the time you walk up the steps, Funeral Director Keith Webster's goal is to carry forward the legacy of personal service established by the Smith and McQuiston families. Using modern technology and good old-fashioned attention to detail, we will strive to earn your confidence in us by treating families the way we think we would want to be treated. Smith, McQuiston, Webster Funeral Home. Rick, thank goodness somebody called timeout because I am hungry.
I'm starved, Jerry. Hey, with 3 different Richmond locations and 1 in Hagerstown, there's a Subway sandwich shop near you.
And you can always order off the app for curbside pickup. The drive-thru's always open, and the way that I prefer it, I just like to walk in.
Here's your sub.
Listen, Subway, eat fresh.
Go Knights!
It's a whole new way to watch the WCTV family of stations. Live, local broadcast television anytime on any device, including your phone, computer, or television. Whether you're on the couch or on the go, simply launch the local BTV app and you'll instantly be able to watch all 3 of our channels, WCTV, WETV, and WGTV. Go to localbtv.com or download the free Local BTV app for your iPhone, Android, Roku, Apple TV, or Fire TV. Watch what's happening in our community on Whitewater Community Television.
All right, we're back here. We just got caught in mid-conversation here as we're coming up. We're live here, Mark. I forgot to tell you that.
Too much to talk about. Too excited. Too many great things going on.
And this is actually a low point in the season, because we're kind of between seasons. Basketball hasn't geared up.
So much anticipation of great things to come.
There is a lot of anticipation. And speaking of anticipation, we got girls basketball. We're finally getting going tomorrow night at Tuesday at home. 6 o'clock JV tip. We'll be live streaming that. But what do I always say, Mark, about the live stream? When do we watch that?
Oh, that's the replay.
Yeah, replay. You watch the replay. You get in the gym, and we like to see a big crowd there. Muncie Central, a 4A school's coming to town. They played them close last year. It's like a 1-point game up there. So here we are. They're going to be here. So we'll look forward to that. Girls basketball, they're excited. If you talk to it's a new coaching staff.
A lot of buzz.
There is a lot of buzz. So we're going to be looking forward to that. See what the new coaching staff has put together. A lot of work I know they put their heart and soul into this. So we're really looking forward to it. Before we'll talk a little bit about this, but first we had senior night last Monday night for girls basketball. And Chloe Cook was unable to be here, so we caught up with her late last week. So let's go to that right now and see what Chloe had to say. All right, we're here at Northeastern High School, and as if you can hear in the background, practice is going on. And I'm here with senior Chloe Cook. Chloe, how are you?
I'm good. I'm really good.
All right.
Watching them run.
All right, and you're over here with us. Okay, so you weren't able to be with us the other night at senior night, so here you get your own one-on-one. So you're in I'm not going to say unusual, but in a situation where you're a senior, but you haven't played since your freshman year. So what went into your decision to come back and play basketball?
Well, I've been playing basketball since the 3rd grade. My sophomore year, I just realized that the environment really wasn't for me. And then with a new coach and it being my senior year, I wanted to experience it one last time. I wanted to experience being out on the court again. So here I am.
All right. So you did play summer basketball, so it's not like you just came in here in the fall. What are your expectations for your senior year?
For me personally, obviously, I want to get. We were just talking about it. Actually, we want to bond as a team. We want to be better as, not as like best friends, but caring about each other to an extent. And I feel like that's a really good lesson to live by for this season. So that's one of my personal goals. I want to be able to bond with everyone, all of these amazing young women on this team, and go far as a team. Really.
All right, well, welcome back. We're glad to have you. We're actually going to be, you're seeing this on Monday, so tomorrow night the girls will start their season. It was delayed a little bit, and they're chomping at the bit to get going. I guess that's the case, right?
Oh, yeah. We were looking forward to the game, but, well, it's rescheduled, so I think it's December 17th, I believe. Yeah.
Well, they'll start tomorrow night against Muncie Central. It is a home game, so we want all you guys in the gym. We'll be live streaming that, but get in the gym, go to the game. We need a big crowd, and you can always watch the replay later. So that's Chloe Cook, and this is her own personal senior video. So thanks, Chloe, for being here. Now you got to get back out there and run. So back to you guys in the studio. Welcome back to Knightline, Mark. So again, as you said before we went to the chat with Chloe, there is a lot of buzz around girls basketball. What are we expecting to see? You tell me.
I think you're going to see a lot of energy, especially that first game. We've got a new coach, girls that are excited to play. We've got obviously some returning high-profile players, but we've got a couple incoming players, freshmen, and Chloe. I remember where she played her freshman year. So I've seen them practice a little bit. They've got a little bit of speed to them as well.
Well, you got that probably a 4-guard rotation. You got Ava Mikesell and Addie Kircher. And then right behind them, you got Marissa Cates and Chloe probably. And they're all fast.
Yeah.
Every one of them is fast, and they're tenacious on defense.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that's kind of the style they want to play, is they want to give the other team fits, and they'll use that speed. Then you got a couple of bigs underneath. You've got, Addie Mastriano and Maddie Osterman. I'm sorry.
Yeah, and I think that's something Coach Dudley's going to work on throughout the season, is just finding how to use what personnel packages we have to the disadvantage of the other team.
Well, it should be fun. Everything's going to be new. There's some excitement. Again, be there tomorrow night. We'll be live streaming that, but we definitely want you in the gym. Come on out and support these girls. All right, so I've always wondered what a manager does. You have student managers on all your teams, right?
What do they do?
Well, we're going to find out here, all right? Well, first of all, we're going to say...
Is this some of your detective work?
Well, a little bit, you got to find some things to try to mix it up here.
Undercover work by Rick Fletcher.
So, we had a chance to chat with Reese Dumford and Corbin Lehman. And they are managing the girls basketball team, okay? We're going to say goodnight, all right? So, Mark, thanks for coming. We really appreciate it.
Glad to be here.
But on our way out, I'd like to thank Steve Luby first. He's our executive producer.
On-site producer, yeah.
He's threatened to pull the plug on us probably 5 times tonight, but he hung in there to the end, so we do appreciate that. We'll be back next week. We don't know what we're going to be doing. I think we're going to have a chance to talk with senior boys basketball if we can work that out, but we'll find something. And we'll have a lot to talk about.
Jerry should be back.
Jerry should be back. We'll see. But as we say goodnight, let's go to Corbin and Reese and see what they have to say. This is Knightline. We'll see you next week.
Hey guys, my name's Reese Dumford.
And I'm Corbin Lehman.
And we're the girls basketball managers. We were asked why we became the basketball managers, and my reason is that we have lots of friends on the team and we wanted to be involved in the sport.
My reasoning is we wanted to help watch them grow this year, and we wanted to help them out as much as we could.
Some things we do as basketball managers are pick up cones.
We run the scoreboard.
We do laundry.
We videotape their games and scrimmages.
And we give them water. Now, I'm Reese Dumford.
And I'm Corbin.
And back to the Knightline.